Olivier, thanks very much for joining us today from Hamburg. A lot of discussion at the moment around future of office. What's your take on that? Obviously, as one of the largest listed office owners and landlords in Germany.
We think that what we've been going through with the COVID situation has clearly blown away all the reservation that corporate had about working from home. And we, as a company, we do believe that work from home, at least in the German context, is here to stay. We think, and we're planning that people are going to be working probably 2 days a week on average from home going forward, and that's going to become more a general behavior. We're less worried about the impact that this is going to have on the office itself, because the reason why you implement work from home is because you want to provide your employee with a better way of working, a better work-life balance going forward. And you're not going to do that but making their life more difficult when they go back to the office. So there is going to be a need for the office to upgrade. There's going to be a need for the office to be maybe structured a bit differently than it used to be. Because of this work from home policies, the thing we're going to be doing in the office might be slightly different than what we're doing in the past. But this is not something we kind of fear. The office we deliver today to our tenants is not the same office that we used to deliver 5 years ago. So it doesn't really come as a shock that the office we need to deliver in 5 years is going to be different than the one we deliver today. But clearly, we think that the way we use offices in the future is not going to be the same than we did in the past, and the COVID would have clearly accelerated the shift towards the mobility and the ability to work from everywhere.
Within that, Olivier, do you see that of necessity means that there will be less office space? How do you see that?
I don't necessarily think that there's going to be less office space. I think the office space is going to be different. And I'm sure there are going to be people trying to implement desk sharing policies. But our experience with desk sharing is that it's very, very difficult to implement. People usually don't like it. I started my career at Ernst & Young like 100 years ago, and we had desk sharing at the time. And as a result of desk sharing, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody sits at the same place, and people don't really want to. I mean, you don't want to be looking for your desk every day you come to the office. So again, if you look at work from home as a way to improve your quality of work and your work-life balance, the last thing you want to do is to force your employee, when they go back to the office, to spend like 25 minutes trying to figure out where they need to sit today. I'm not a big believer in technology-enabled desk sharing policy. I don't think that's going to work. I think it's too expensive and have little benefit. So I think, I believe people are going to try to do desk sharing. I have no doubt about that. Probably for the next 24, 48 months, after the pandemic, people are going to be trying to implement those things. I'm pretty sure people will revert back to having your own workstation, and that would mean that the actual demand for space is going to remain roundabout the same from my perspective. What is going to change is what kind of office are going to be successful and what kind of office are not going to be successful in terms of layout, in terms of amenities, in terms of you're going to need to compete with somebody's own home, and you need to attract people, so you need to facilitate communication and all those kind of things. But the amount of space that's going to be required, I'm not sure is going to fundamentally change. It's obviously too early to call. You could make the other argument. I'm sure you have some of your guests making the exact opposite argument, saying, 2 days per week in home, it's 20% less office space, which arguably might as well be the case. The reality is nobody knows. But I don't believe that's going to have a massive impact on the demand, at least not in the long run. Probably in the short run, if I had to bet today, I would think the demand per se for high quality offices is not going to change materially.
Okay, good. Thanks very much for sharing your views today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.